me a really long time ago. Our thoughts are very powerful, and how we think about certain situations, about ourselves, uh, carry a lot of weight. So we want to create more faith in ourselves and less doubt. Um, I think it's interesting because I think the older you get, the more wisdom comes into your psyche, and I think that does have a lot to do with that. But to understand how powerful our thoughts are, how powerful our judgments are, and how important it is to not judge yourself in a harmful way, because when we judge ourselves that way, it almost gives you permission to judge others. So we just want to just change those thoughts and allow ourselves to come to a place of acceptance of what's happening. Know that we can't control situations, but we can have a very strong intention. And it is our intention uh, that will take us for the ride. So if our intention is strong, it will overpower the doubt. So, yoga of faith, I think that's a really important thought. So let's just take a deep inhale and a deep exhale and just widen our sitting bones apart. Hug your heels in. Feel the energy of your tailbone and your pubic bone moving towards one another. Bring your shoulders to your ears and roll your shoulders back. Soften the skin on your face. And breathe. Full deep inhale and a full deep exhale. So as we bring the energy of our heels in towards our midline, feel the expansiveness of your heart as it opens up. And it is in this welcoming heart that we find compassion and kindness and just that support of oneself, that love that we can create for ourselves, that acceptance of who we are at this moment. And then root into the earth with your sitting bones and feel yourself rising upward. As you rise upward, feel your lower belly lift, feel your front ribs go back towards your back ribs, your shoulders gently moving towards your ears and rolling back. And then just place your hands on your knees. And let's just take a couple of deep inhales. To a count of 5, we'll inhale, we'll hold the count of 5, and then we'll exhale to the count of 5, and we'll do this 3 times. So take a deep inhalation. Hold for 5. And exhale for 5. And again. Hold for 5. And exhale for 5. And one last time, inhale. And exhale. Let's bring our hands in front of our hearts. And together we'll do the sound of Om, the invocation, and the sound of Om. Take a deep inhale. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachitananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om. Bow your head to your heart to honor your spirit. On your inhale, lift your head up. And on your exhale, release your hands to the side and gently open your eyes. And we're going to just start with this sitting. And you can have your ankles crossed, or you can have your shins crossed, whichever feels good. And then just grab that extra skin again. So just bring your hands in front of you and just plug into the back of the heart. And then inhale your fingertips all the way to the sky. Reach all the way up. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. And then what you're going to do next is just release your right hand down and stretch over to the right with your left hand. So you want to really root down your left sitting bone. And if you can, you could even bring your forearm down or place it on a block. So you're having a nice side stretch. And if the shoulder needs a little help or a little softness, you could keep your hand at your hip. You're still stretching the whole left side of the body. Good. And then inhale and come up. Full deep breath. And then take the second side. So here you can have a block here in case you want it at your hip. Plug in, lift up. And just stretch over to the other side. Now, it's a side stretch. And really stretch those fingertips out. Feel the whole length from your sitting bone all the way to your armpit and shoulder. Rooting down into that right hip. Good. And then inhale and come up. So we're going to do that again. So now you know if you want to have a block here for your forearms or not, or if you just want to stay on your hands, it's up to you. Okay. So plug into the back of the heart, reach up, and then release your hand down, or you can reach your whole forearm down. Plug in outer rotation at the top of your left and stretch it up. Full deep breath. Keep rooting into the back of your heart. And take that whole right side of the torso to the left. Good. And then root to rise. Feel the length. Plug in again, lift up. It's super long in your torso. Exhale. Down to the left side. Decide how that works for you best. And then lengthen. You can even push into your left elbow or hand to get that right sitting bone rooted. You want to stay rooted into the earth. Good. And exhale and release. Good. We're going to do one more time. 3 times is a charm. So you should be feeling pretty nice and long here. So plug in. To the right we go. Stretch it out. Try to have your bicep to your ear if you can. And look up to the sky. Root down into the earth. Get really heavy on that left sitting bone. Good. And come back to center. Good. And second side it. Root to rise up with your heart. All those qualities of heart want to sing. And when we come to these times of just needing some compassion and kindness and acceptance and love, we want to fill the heart with all those qualities. Good. And come back to center. Great. Good. And let's change the cross of our legs. And this time, if you have a block or a book or something, all we're going to do is stretch forward. And then release down. So once again, you want to stay heavy on your seat and just create length on both sides of your torso as we fold forward. Full deep inhale and then a full deep exhale. And then pull the block back. Good. Bring the block to the side. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. So you can come onto your hands and knees. You want to press forward with your finger pads and metacarpals, and then just lift up a little bit. So at first we're just going to be, our shins are parallel to our mat, and then really lengthen away from your hands, and then begin to straighten your legs. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And you could do a little walk here, stepping in place, lifting one hip and then the other. Just do a little catwalk, lifting upward with your inner arms and softening and surrendering with the back of your heart. And then stretch one heel back as you bend one knee, really stretching out the Achilles and the back of the calf. So the breath is deep, and then exhale the other side. Good. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. Good. And let's come back down to our knees. Good. Full deep breath. And come back to a down dog again. Lifting upward. Full deep breath. Let's take our left foot and bring it over to the right. So we're squeezing those thighs together. The foot is active. Breathe. And then we're just going to come onto our one arm. We're on our left. And then lift up with our right. Keep hugging in. Good. Beautiful. And let's change sides. And second up. So the right foot is up. Make sure you're outer spiraling, top of your shoulder. You could be also on your forearm if that feels better. And open it up. Full deep breath. Beautiful. Exhale and release. Down dog. And just full deep inhale and exhale. Let's just bend one knee or bend our knees and just do a little circle around our heels with our hips. Just really circling our hips. First one way and then the other way. Good. And then right foot forward. And pivot the back heel down. Hug into the midline. And let's inhale up to Virabhadrasana 2. So hug your heels in. Feel the energy of your inner thigh muscles. You want to make sure that your shoulders are sitting over your hips and plugging into the back of your heart. Full deep breath. Scoop your tailbone. Feel the lift from the lower belly. Good. And then come to the middle of your mat and turn both toes in. And then inhale and look up. And nice fold for Pasarita Padottanasana. And lift your sitting bones up to the sky. So your head is in a surrender. You're bowing your head to your heart, honoring all those places that we need to hold on to. We need faith in our life. And when we have faith, we can overcome doubt. And that does not serve us. So that is something we want to constantly just breathe out. Good, and then let's turn to the other side, left foot forward. The back heel is pivoted, and we're going to rotate up to Vira 2 again. And feel those inner thigh muscles. Scoop your tailbone, lift up, shoulders up and back. And we're breathing with our breath full and deep. From Vira 2, we're going to come right to Parsvakonasana of elbow to knee, hand to hip, or you can come down to the earth. You can put a block here as well. You're going to hug in. You're going to bring your right fingertips in front, plug into the back of the heart, bicep to ear. And really root and connect to the earth here. And you feel that sense of stability and openness. And that's what you want to feel. You want to feel that connection to something greater than yourself. You want to feel the power that is in you. Good. And then exhale, let's come back to Pasarita with our toes in and bow. And we bow our heads to our hearts. And we feel that connection. And if you want, you can bring your hands behind your back now, interlace them, and open your shoulders up a bit. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. Keep hugging your heels in. Feel the opening at the collarbone when you do this. And if you're up there, you can change your interlace now. See how that feels. Keep hugging your heels in. Feel those inner thigh muscles. And the breath is deep in and out of our nostrils. And our skin is soft. Beautiful. And then come back. We're going to pivot to the right for Parsvakonasana. And once again, it could be elbow to knee or full pose, or you can have a block here. Plug into the back of the heart. And you have a bicep to ear. Really root into the back foot now and feel the back inner thigh lifting so that you can bring space to the outer right hip by stretching it back so the torso isn't all clustered. Shoulders back. Good. Exhale, release. And let's come into a down dog. Down dogs. Oh, they're so great, aren't they? I love this pose. And let's just bring both heels to the right and take that outer right hip back, left hip forward. Keep lifting the armpits up and then just second side it. We're just breathing deeply in and out of the body. Good. Breathe. And let's just take our right knee and bend it into our chest. So our right knee is into our chest, and we're just going to extend it out. Breathe. Full deep breath and release the foot down. And bring the left knee in and extend it out. And bring that foot back down. And then right knee to right wrist. And here we are in Ekapada, Raja Kapotasana prep. So we're shoulders up and back, heart is open. And first thing you want to do is really hug into the midline so you feel those inner thigh muscles. And roll your shoulders back. And you can bring your fingertips in front if you can, or you can have your blocks here. Plug in and lift up. And this is where you really want to get long and get that left hip to come forward. Full deep breath. Open your heart. And then exhale, release. And let's just hold in this pose here of goalpost arms. And feel the upper arm extending back. Good. And release. And let's do the second side. So our left knee is forward, behind the wrist. You're going to hug in. You're going to lift your heart up, plug in and lift up. Really extending out of your waist, nice and long. Full deep breath. Breathing into the body. Feel your heart open, and it's like the heart in our practice gets this opportunity to really sing, to really recognize our true self. Beautiful. And exhale and release. And we're going to change sides again. So our right knee is forward again. We're going to hug into the midline. We want to get this left hip forward, right hip back. And we're going to bring our fingertips in front. And now we're going to fold. And we want to bow our head to our heart. So if you can't, your forehead doesn't reach the ground, you can make a fist and put your forehead on your fist. Or you can get a block and just rest your forehead on a block. Just honor wherever it is that you are, and just make sure you keep hugging the knees in so that your left hip comes forward and the right hip stretches back. You want that right side of the torso to stay super long. That's how it feels really good. And keep hugging into the midline. And your head is bowing to your heart once again. It's kind of that thing about knowledge. Knowledge is an amazing thing. That intelligence in our body is an important part of it. but there's that intelligence in our heart that we're bowing to. So we release this part that thinks too much. And it's that thinking, we are bowing to that feeling. The thinking, bowing to that feeling, recognizing its worth. And then come on up again, and we just didn't get a chance to stretch our quadricep. So we're gonna lift our back leg, that's my left, I have it in my hand, and I'm gonna just bring the heel in towards the hip and keep my shoulders rolled back as much as possible as I do this. Always exposing ourselves without doubt. Beautiful. Exhale, release, and let's change sides again. So our left knee behind our left wrist, hug in and connect. You can walk the right foot back. I like doing that sometimes. You want to make sure your left shin is hugging in and the back ankle is encircled. Full deep breath and lift up. Good, and then come into that goalpost arm. Feel those shoulder blades on your back. Feel your heart singing. Beautiful. And then release and lengthen and fold. And we bow our heads to our hearts and just accepting where it is that we are in our practice today. Skin is soft. It's like butter on a pancake. It's melting. And this whole idea of melting into your practice, that's where I want to be. I just want to melt into my practice, be totally accepting of where it takes me, not try to lead it, kind of just let it lead me. And then inhale up. And then it's time to stretch the other quadricep. Ha! Not always fun. Lift your heart up. Breathe. Get that hip back. Whew! That was fun. Exhale, release. Let's come into a down dog. And let's just stretch it out a little bit. Feel your hips. Do one, bend one knee and then the other. And just, sometimes it's fun to just bring your right knee to the left. Just hold it there for a minute. Couple of breaths. And then just do the second side. Good, and come back. And let's bring right knee to right wrist. So we're gonna hug in again. And I hug in, I feel this left hip come forward a little bit when I do that, which gives this space. All this doesn't want to be crumply. That's what I want to get rid of, that crumply feeling. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get long. I want to get super long. I want to make sure I have the core being active, and now I'm going to turn to my right knee, and I'm going to just bow to it. I'm just going to bow to the knee, and as I bow to the right knee and left knee are hugging in, bringing that left hip forward. So if I brought my hand to my hips, they'd be even. That's what I'd like to kind of go for. And once again, we just bow our heads to our hearts. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. Make sure your back foot is active and the shin and the heel are coming into the body and not bowing out. Good, and then we're gonna get long, and now we're gonna Stretch that quadricep again, but more in a twist. So we're going to hug in. I'm taking the whole left side of the torso to the right, and I'm bending the left leg, grabbing the foot, hoo-ha, and ooh, release that right hip down if you can. Keep those shoulders rolled back. And if this isn't enough, you can come down to your forearm. Oh yeah. Little chiropractic adjustment and release. Second side it. I haven't done these all week, I don't think. One of my favorite poses, hug in. Engage your core. Get that tailbone and pubic bone to start kissing. And then turn to your left knee and fold. And it's a bow of abandonment. We're just letting it go. And the breath is deep. And the torso is folded over your thigh and knee. Keep hugging in. No vacationers here. We are totally committed to this body right now, this breath. And then we're going to inhale up and we're going to twist it out. Twist that body. Try to stack your shoulders. Bend your knee and grab that foot. Woo! Grab that right foot. Oh boy. If you want, you could come down. Release that left hip down. Oh boy, what an adjustment. Open it up. Beautiful. And release. Whoo, down dog. Oh yeah, do a little catwalk. Feel your breath. Okay, one more time now. One more, Akapada. So we hug in. So our shoulders and our hips are square now. We have a nice rectangle of our body. Going to take our right foot. If you want, if you can, you bring it up a little bit. You don't have to. But the most important thing that it's active. So you're either pressing out of the 4 points of our foot, or if the foot is flat, you're really still pressing out of the 4 points, but the ball, the big toe will be really active. Then we're going to get long and we're going to do a little twist again. So I like to walk my left foot back a little bit if I can. And then you could bring your elbow into the foot, into that arch, or in front of the toes. And then bring your hands into Namaste. So this is a twist here. Your shoulders are stacking. Your hips are stacked. And you're breathing. Root to rise here. Open your heart. You want to always expose it. Expose your heart. My grandma always used to say, kill them with kindness. And we have to have kindness in our bodies all the time for ourselves and others. Beautiful. Whew. Slowly release and let's just bow for a moment to ourselves. Just give ourselves a little bow and feel the squareness of your rectangle. Shoulders and hips aligned. We align with the divine. We align with that greater part of ourselves. Beautiful. And let's come into what will be our last down dog. And then our left knee to left wrist. And hug in. And here's our foot. And I'm going to bring my elbow into the arch or in front of the toes, whichever works for you. Square your hips behind you. Zoom, and get that shoulder back as you twist over to the right. Open your heart, expose your heart, and take that whole left side of the torso to the right as much as you can. Good. And release. Hoo-ha. And let's take this whole right leg and bring it to the left. Here we go. So we're in Ardha Matsyendrasana. Shoulders up and back, hug your heels in. You could take your hand to the outside of the right leg, shoulders up and back, and we're twisting now to the right. So it's belly, chest, shoulders, neck, and head. And if you want, you could get your elbow to the outside. Go deep into that twist. Sending fresh blood to all those organs. It's like refreshment time to clear any of those doubts that we have in our head today. We're just going to clear them out. And release. Beautiful. And let's go to the second side. Ardha Matsyendrasana, second side. Shoulders up and back. Right hand on knee or elbow. And you're going to go belly, chest, shoulders, neck, and then head as we twist to the left. Full deep breath. And slowly come back to center. Good, and let's bring our legs out into a wide Upavishta Konasana. Just going to bring the there. You can see my feet. You don't want to do this without seeing my feet, I think. Take your inner thighs and roll them back. Feet are active. Even here, I like to just have my toes in a little bit. That's that inner spiral going down the whole leg. And then scoop my tailbone towards the pubic bone and engage the core. Shoulders up and back. Just bring our fingertips in front and plug in and just grow. So you have this like growth, a long rooting to rise action. So we're really rooting down at the top of the thigh bones, the sitting bones, and we're lifting up all the way to our fingertips. The core is lifting, bringing those front ribs back, and we're feeling a strong engagement. We're in partner with the core right now. And then exhale, let's come into that goalpost arm again. So we're still bringing the shoulder blades onto our back. And if we just held this like this, and you want to make sure you have that fourth wall happening, so you're pressing into it, you're engaging the biceps and triceps. You're still growing in your torso, you're still getting longer, still hugging your heels in. All that is still happening. And then exhale and release. Now keep action happening in your legs. So that's important. You're still hugging in to expand, rooting to rising. And let's just take that fingertips in front. And if you have a block, you could place it here. We're going to push the block forward again. And we're always honoring where we are today. So it's only going to go as far as we can go. And we want to keep the inner arms up to the sky so we can soften and surrender the back of our heart. And then we're bowing. Biceps to ears. And then once we get to our edge, we bow our head to our heart. Keep lifting your inner arms up to the sky and keep rooting into your seat. Take a couple of deep inhales and exhales here. Keep hugging in. And then on your next inhalation, pull the block back and lift up with your heart. Good. And then you could take the block. You can still use it perhaps in the next one. So we're going to root to rise, and we're going to now just turn over to our right leg. So keep hugging in, and we're going to frame our leg. So you could have two blocks here. You can have one block here, one block here, or you can even have a strap. If you have a strap, you could put it around your foot like this. Okay, so whatever you have or whatever you could use. Otherwise, I'm framing my foot, my leg with my fingertips, shoulders up and back. So my hips are this way, right? Now I'm like not doing a full twist. It's more of a turn, but I'm bringing my belly over my thigh. I'm going to bring my shoulders up to my ears, work my feet still, and I'm bowing. Now I have to stay heavy on this left hip. So keep rooting down into that left hip. So I like to still use my right hand to plug into the back of the heart. With my left hand, I'm going to come to the outside of the shin or leg, wherever you are in this pose, even the little toe side of the foot if you're there. Get long and fold. Now, as you fold, still keep really heavy and lots of weight on that left hip. Keep your shoulder blades on your back and you're bowing your head to your heart. Keep hugging your heels in. Keep rooting and rising. And feel your breath moving throughout the whole body. And then on your next inhale, slowly come up and take a breath. And then we're just going to turn our torso to the left, frame our leg again, shoulders up and back. Make sure your belly is lifting, and we're going to walk down our left leg. Press into your left hand, get that left shoulder blade back. Take your right hand to the outside of the thigh, the shin, or the foot, wherever it works for you. As long as you're plugging into the back of the heart and bowing your head to your heart. Keep hugging in to that midline. And the expansion is going to be in your chest. It's going to be in the length of that torso. The more you hug in, the longer you will get. Keep working your feet. And you're just aware of the body. The body is your best friend. The yoga asana practice. It's what clears our mind. It's what gets rid of our doubt. Because we face our challenges here. We recognize our strength. We become one with our power. And then root and rise up. And just breathe. Okay, we're going to do one more with our legs wide, hugging in. This time we're going to take our right hand to the inside. And so here, you're going to have your hand nice and straight, your arm nice and straight. If you can get your elbow down and grab the foot, you'll do that. Otherwise, you're just going to be like this. This shoulder rolls back. So we're kind of stacking our shoulders here. our fingertips to the sky, plugging into the back of the heart, bicep to ear. And I'm just bringing the whole right side of the torso to the left, really rooting down into my left hip. Because you'll feel heavier on the right hip. You want to get some of that weight onto the left hip. Get really some weight into that left sitting bone as you bring your heart up to the sky. Keep hugging your heels in. Beautiful. And then inhale and come up. Whew. Doing a lot of side stretching today. That feels so good, doesn't it? And then second side, left hand. You can bring the elbow down, then do so. Otherwise, you're like this. This is great too. This shoulders rolling back. Okay, shoulders up and back, stacking those shoulders. Fingertips plug in, and you're reaching towards the foot. Doesn't matter if you touch it, just reaching towards it. And now it's that right hip that has to get super heavy. To really root into that right hip as that whole torso comes to the left. Full deep breath. One more deep inhale and exhale. And then inhale and come up. Hoo-ha. Yeah. And let's just bring those feet together. And let's do that. That feels nice. Whew. Great. So good. Good. Let's fold forward. Let's grab those inner thighs again and stretch forward. Now, I forgot to mention it, but of course, I think most of you know that if you need to be sitting on a blanket, that's what you'll be doing. So your feet are super active. I think you could see my feet are super active. Shins are hugging in, shoulders up and back. Now I'm just going to fold forward in Paschimottanasana. Now, if you could get your hands on those shins, you hug them in, that's really good. If you can grab your outer foot, bring that outer foot in, the toes are coming in. The ball of the big toe winning the race. And then you bow your head to your heart. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale. We're always just honoring where we are today. Remember, we do not want to create doubt in our practice. We are here, we are succeeding, we are doing the best we can. I think that's why I loved yoga, because I didn't have to supersede myself. I could just be where I was. Love and light just moving through the body. Muscles getting strong and flexible. And then root and rise. Let's take our right knee over our left. Grab that extra skin. And let's just twist here. Whew. Get a little twist in. Feels good. And come back. And let's fold over. Make sure you're rooting into your sitting bones. You're working your feet. Both feet are super active. And then you're bowing. Sometimes we just need a practice where we're bowing our heads to our heart a lot to honor our heart space, to honor that place that holds all those beautiful qualities of self. And then inhale and come up. And one of the greatest teachings I ever had is to look to the highest first. And we look to the highest first when we are feeling the light, when we are feeling our worth, when we are feeling all these qualities in our heart pulsating, and knowing that is what serves us. So root to rise, scoop your tailbone, feel the belly lifting and fold. and breath, full and deep. And then lengthen and root to rise. Good. Let's get our ankle and our knee to be in line. And then just take your left foot in your hand and just floss it back. Get that foot back there. Good. And let's just take our foot over our knee. And once again, we have those blocks. They help us. If I need to, I could put the foot on the block instead of my knee or thigh. Get those inner thighs back. Get your torso long, build your shoulders back. Agni Stambhasana, where we get that opportunity to really feel the fire, the tapas in our hips. And think of a fire lifts up into the air. So this is where we are reaching to the highest first. We are rooting into this earth. We are creating a fire and we are lifting upward towards the sky. And let's just fold for a moment. If you can, you don't have to, maybe this is enough. Maybe you're going, okay, I got the fire, it's happening. If you want a little more fire, just lead with your heart as you fold. Make sure that you're maintaining that natural curve in your lower back and you're bowing. Get sitting bones real heavy. Don't go too far forward. Good. Inhale and come up. Here, if you have a strap, you could put it around. If you want, you could just do this. You're going to stretch that leg out. If you could grab the foot, you could do this too. Lift up with your heart, and chin to shin is the choice. And exhale and release. And then let's do the other side. So ankle and knee are in line, right foot, and we're just stacking it. I mean, not stacking it, we're flossing it, and then bringing the foot over the knee, hug in, get long. Maybe this is enough, or we're going to fold. Breathe, press the foot into the arm into the foot, and we bow our heads to our hearts. Breathing into it. Full deep breath. Good. And inhale up. And let's just do a really quick child's pose. So just stretching out that lower back a little bit. Bring your heels to your hips towards your heels. You want to get it, imagine someone sitting on your hips right now, getting those sitting bones down towards your heels even more. Sometimes just thinking those wonderful thoughts will bring them into your body, right? The power of thought. Sometimes it will serve you. As we bow to our practice this morning. And then inhale slowly. Just come up and have a seat. And we're going to do Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. So is everybody good? All right, so use a blanket to sit on if you would like. And get your inner thighs back. Again. So an alternate nostril breath, you take your right hand. I do this. I kind of have this way to do it, but whatever works. Your thumb goes over your right nostril, and the index and middle finger like kind of rest lightly on your third eye. So you're going to inhale and exhale, and then inhale through the right. Close your nostril, exhale out of the left. Inhale into the left. Close it, exhale out of the right. Inhale right. Close it, exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. So just keep doing that with your own breath. The next exhale out of your right nostril, just bring your hands to your knees and close your eyes. And just go to a natural yogic inhale and exhale out of your nostril breath. Sitting tall. And then when you're ready, you can lay down on your back. Let's start off first in Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of your feet together, allowing your body to just release and let go. So you're here and you're just going to lay back. If you want some blocks underneath your thighs, you can do that. Just allow yourself to just release and surrender as we surrender into our mat. Surrender into the earth. And whenever you're ready, let's come into Shavasana. Totally surrender to your Shavasana.
Shut the door of your reason, even the smallest thing. Jesus love away, like smoke that runs, the freshness of the morning breeze. To reason, one can only say, this place, but you can pass to the Lord. It offers 100 blessings before the mind decides to take a step. Now let us reach the seventh heaven. Let us climb the holy mountain. Let us reach the seventh heaven. Let us climb the holy mountain.
Gently begin to deepen your breath. A full deep inhale and a full deep exhale. As you send the breath to your fingers and toes, slowly awaken your arms and your legs and stretch as you like. When you're ready, bend one knee and then another and gently roll to your right side. Use both your hands to come up to a seated position, bringing your hands in front of your heart. And let us bow in gratitude for the power of faith that we hold within us, the love that we have, all these beautiful qualities that allow us to always look to the highest first. We bow in gratitude for this practice that allows us to get to know ourselves so much more, that we can recognize our love for ourselves and for others. May you be filled with joy and happiness. May you feel safe and be well. And may your hearts always be filled with peace. Please join me in the sound of Om. Take a deep inhale. I bow to your light. Namaste.